Hey everybody, Coach Troy here. Now, Donkey Kong was one of the biggest games in the arcades. Everyone knows it, right? Now, the property is actually owned by Nintendo. They were actually trying to get the Popeye license and slap that paste on there, but when they couldn't get that, they decided to go with a giant monkey stealing your girlfriend instead. And it was actually Coleco that got the rights to make the console versions of the game. And of course, it got ported onto the Atari 2600. So we got another one of those situations where you got a Nintendo property with a ColecoVision developer on an Atari system. Love when those things happen, right? Nothing could possibly go wrong. Well, unfortunately, like a lot of games that were super big in the arcades, when they got ported over onto the Atari 2600, they were, let's just say, a little bit disappointing. Of course, this box could not quite hold all the great action that you got in the arcade. And there are several reasons why that happened. If you go over on the Gen X Grown Up YouTube page, he has an awesome interview with Gary Kitchen himself explaining a lot of the reasons why that happened, why it wasn't quite up to expectations. Still, he was able to accomplish some pretty cool things in the game, and that's explained in that interview as well. So I highly recommend going over and watching that. But all that aside, of course, Donkey Kong is looked back on as one of Atari's biggest fumbles, I guess you could say, as a game that definitely did not live up to expectation. And so a lot of people say it was not a good game. Now, I think we should give this a second shot. I love these ColecoVision cards, just that color. I don't know, I guess just looking different, it stands out. But anyway, let's plug this sucker in and give it a second chance and see, ignoring everything that was at the arcade, just looking at what's inside this thing right here. Is it a bad game? Or do we actually got a little gem on our hands? Let's check it out. Alright, so here is Donkey Kong. And yes, he looks absolutely ridiculous. He looks like the gingerbread man without the candy buttons. This is level 1, and let me tell you, it actually plays right. And Pauline doesn't look too ridiculous. Oh, they don't move from screen to screen either. Look at that. They are still in the exact same spot. Yeah, these flames, they kind of look like just lizards. Lizards that are just sliding across the girders. Now, the oil barrel is there. It doesn't say oil. It is there technically, but it doesn't send any little fiery guys after you. Once the barrel's hit, they just disappear off screen. So it is missing that. And the barrels, they look like little crackers or something. What do they look like? I want to say cereal, like Cookie Crisp or honeycombs, maybe honeycombs. All right, now let's try this again on this other side. Oh, come on. Come on. All right. Oh, there's no disappearing and falling. And look at that. We only got 2 stages. So sad. All right, I can't finish this up without at least trying to see what this hammer does. There's only one hammer, and it's at the top. Yeah, not the greatest hammer action there. Rack up them points. Yeah, once you kind of get the hang of it though, and you get a little technique down, it does get pretty repetitive, with especially only the 2 levels. I really like the first level though still. I think they did a good job with it. I'd love to see some fire though. That second level, meh. Just not that exciting. The sound is good though, I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm not expecting too much, but I think it sounds pretty good. There's only one on this on this level I can kill. So now I just gotta wait for the hammer to run out. That seems... Right, I can't go up this... No, yeah, I can't go up. That seems really strange to have that hammer there. Just to kill one thing. Mario's looking a little chunky here, too. He's definitely got a beer belly going. Whale. Yeah, if you look at the graphics, Donkey Kong looks like, I guess everyone says he looks like a gingerbread man, right? Mario, I think, though, looks pretty good. And on that first stage, getting those diagonal inclines is pretty cool. You don't see that in a lot of Atari games, or a lot of 2600 games. So I think that actually, the first stage looks pretty cool. The second stage, though, I think is where things kind of fall apart a little bit. I don't know, it just doesn't quite have this... Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the arcade, and again, we're trying not to compare the two. It's almost impossible not to, though, when you know how good that arcade game is. But just trying to look at it as a game on its own, I do love the fact there's 2 stages. 4 stages, sure, would have been amazing. But 2 is still pretty good. I love that it switches up the gameplay, so that is a big plus. But the second stage, again, I don't think is that great. It's nice that it breaks it up, but I don't know. I like that first stage much, much better than I like the second one. There's just something about how the fire moves and jumping over. I don't know. If you get into a groove, it's not too difficult of a game. And so I don't know if those 2 stages really have enough. So still, those 2 stages are, well, they're a little bit simplistic still. So the challenge is not amazing, but it's still pretty good. So looking at it as a game just on its own, I don't think it deserves the hate that it sometimes gets. I think that there's actually some pretty cool things in here, and while it's not super mind-blowing and amazing, it's a solid game. It's decent. And all good things must have sequels, right? Right? And sequels are always better than the original. Gotta be. Like Terminator 2. I rest my case. So Coleco also came out with Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. also big in the arcade. Not quite as big as Donkey Kong, I don't think, but still a pretty popular game. So let's see if they were able to do more this second time around than they were in the first. Let's check this one out. Alright, that startup music might be a little too ominous, and holy crap. That sound is brutal. Yeah, that's like screeching bad. No, and I fell off. I guess those vines are farther apart than they look. So, I already can tell that Junior here does not control nearly as well as Mario did in the other one. Yeah, Junior's having a rough go of it. Ooh. Yay! I survived. But that jump mechanic is brutal. What? How did... Okay. That doesn't make sense. Alright, getting the hang of that first round. Now, how the hell do we start this one without dying immediately from that bird? There we go. Woo! Slick moves. It's actually tough. This does not control super well. It feels really stiff. No! Whoa! How the hell did I jump over that bird? I have no idea. But I'll take it! Alright, and now, yeah, look at this. We got a third stage. This is something that... that the Donkey Kong was not able to do. I'll see if I can beat it. Oh, alright. I got through all 3 stages. Mario looks good. Junior looks rough. I don't know how that jump over that bird goes, but I'll take it. Look at that. I'm a friggin' expert already. I'm also on the easiest setting. Alright, 2 cycles through. This tune is actually nice. I like this tune. Oh. Well, I've had about enough of that music. I'm gonna call it quits. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I don't know. I just don't think it controls very well. The sound is a little rough. And it is, don't get me wrong though, the 3 stages, it's got 3 different stages. And that is a huge plus, especially, for a 2600 game. That is pretty awesome. But I don't know, I feel like I'm fighting the game when I'm trying to play it. I don't feel like I'm having fun. I don't feel like I'm playing Junior here. I feel like I'm suffering to make him move, like he doesn't want to do what I'm telling him to. And that just really drags this game down. The first one, you can control Mario very smoothly. He reacted exactly how you wanted him to. And this one, it just doesn't seem to be happening. The graphics are not amazing, but they're serviceable. Some parts are pretty rough. The sound, though, is pretty abysmal. And the control, though, that's the nail in the coffin. So I'm going to have to say, in this case, it does get the hate it deserves. So, sorry. Ups to Donkey Kong. Deserves a little love. But Junior here, sorry, not going to defend you. You deserve all the hate you get. So, this one, forget about it. Alright, well let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions on these games? Are they terrible and need to be scrapped? Or is there some actual, some good times to be had in here? Anyway, this is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time.
Thanks for joining me as I start my journey into the world of retro gaming. If you're interested in my other hobbies of fitness or board games, check out my other channel. Anyways, this is Coach Troy. I'll see y'all next time.